Guys, what's going on? Jeremy Lafrentz with Backstage Entertainment, sitting in the lounge area of Cannibal Corpse's bus, and we're sitting here with George. George, what's going on?
How's it going?
You just got done eating, we were talking about, and after this we're taking a nap, so we got to hurry through this, huh?
Yeah, we don't have to hurry, but yeah, it's good to just stretch the back out on the bunk. Sometimes you don't even fall asleep, you just fuck around on your phone, internet or whatever, and just maybe fall asleep. Who knows? Is it an earlier show tonight? So
yeah, is it pretty crowded on the bus? Because you guys, 5 members in the band already, and then you got.
Well, it's 5 of us and our tour manager,
right?
Sound man. He's one person. Our guitar tech, drum tech, and merch person. So it's 9 people in 12 bunks. So we have 3 extra bunks that we call them junk bunks.
Right.
You put out your extra bags in them, things like that.
Right. Okay.
So it's really comfortable. It's not too bad. Usually, especially when we're driving down the road, some people are in bed earlier than others. Throughout the day, everyone's doing something. Someone's out looking at the city, the sights. Yeah. Somebody's, the other guys are working in the club. So it never gets too bad. And even so, 9 people comfortably can fit in this bus. Yeah, it's not so bad. I mean, you figure you got 2 people there. That's 4. Front lounge can easily hold 5. So yeah.
Seems like the front lounge is always a little bit nicer because you got more room and kind of a little kitchen.
Yeah, that's where the kitchen's at and everything. All the food's at, so everybody's hanging out there.
Exactly. Okay. Well, let's talk about. George, you joined the band a little after the start because they started in 1988.
Yep.
And then so you came on a little afterwards.
Yep.
It's probably a question you get asked quite a bit for our new fans out there, kind of hearing about you from the interview. Do you kind of know where the band name comes from? It's pretty unique, so that's why I ask.
I don't know exactly what inspired it. I know Alex came up with the name, bass player Alex, but I don't know.
Any cool
I'm sure it had something to do with zombies, horror movies, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's pretty much what the subject matter we've stuck to all these years.
Right.
But I don't know if there was a particular movie that inspired it or not. It'd be a question more for Alex.
Okay.
And I'm sure I probably heard exactly
what it was,
how it came about, but I'm stupid.
Well, it's a name.
I remember lyrics. I don't remember much else.
That's right. Well, talking about lyrics in any of your songs, you guys have 12 studio albums out now. The latest one being Torture, was released back in March. When you guys are sitting down writing songs, you guys have a unique sound, and we were talking about like the horror and stuff before. Where does the inspiration and the ideas come from?
Musically, that's really a question for those guys. That are writing the music. But obviously, we're all listening to music and whatnot, and we're trying to create something that's original. We've kind of got our own sound now. Well, not kind of. We have our own sound after all these years. But you can hear there's an evolution musically over the years. Lyrically, it's pretty much just it's horror movie inspired, but not by like any particular horror movie. Like we don't have songs about The Shining or about The Exorcist or anything like that. It's just basically we come up with ideas on different instruments of torture, murder, whatever, and kind of combine them or just use just one word songs depending on what it is. And just write around that, take like and there's different. We have other songs, that are just stories, about just like definitely zombies. That's been a big thing for us, So the lyrics are pretty much inspired by a love of horror movies and books, horror books and whatnot, but not any one in particular.
Right. And now you guys, talking again about kind of the band and the horror stuff and stuff. Every band, is going to have those haters and stuff. And you guys are kind of considered a pretty controversial band. But when you guys are out on the road, you probably, or you even hear, like, especially with the internet nowadays, so much social media and so many like bloggers, stuff like that. When you hear people say you guys should tone it down a bit or even stop completely, what do you kind of think to those haters?
Fuck off.
Yeah, that's right.
Really, anyone that would ask us to tone it down is out of their mind. The band's been around almost 25 years,
right? And
that's not happening. So, for anyone who wants to tone it down, that's more usually politicians or whatnot. And we really haven't heard much from anyone in that area for a long time. Bob Dole was really the one that really kind of pushed it,
right?
And on the internet, I don't give a fuck what they have to say. I mean, look, I respect all the opinions of our fans and whatnot, you know. But anyone that doesn't like us, you know, I respect that opinion too. But if you, some of the things that they say, if you go on there and you're pretty, you know, it's one thing to be harsh, but it's if you're on there and you're just being ignorant and just being an asshole to people. These are still people you're talking about, you know. I mean, you don't have to like a band, but for people to say some of the things that they say on Blabbermouth and whatnot, you know, and you know, knowing that you can't wring their fucking necks, you know, it's annoying. It's frustrating. Not frustrating because maybe I wouldn't wring their neck, but you know what? I guarantee you, I wouldn't have to, because if they were standing in front of me, in front of any one of us, they wouldn't have the balls to say what they say, or tits if it's a girl, you know.
Yeah,
whatever,
that's right.
Whatever, you know. But I mean, you know. I just really, it does make me angry, you know, especially like, you know, I play Warcraft, and it's an online game, and you get people talking trash in there. It's one thing to talk trash. We break each other's balls on this bus all day long, you know. We fuck with each other all day long, you know.
Is that a good taste?
I mean, it's all in good fun. We're friends, you know. You know, but you know, we're always playing practical jokes on each other and whatnot. That's one thing. But when you're online, you know, saying things about people, personal things, and just, you know, when you don't even know them, you know, and you know that you're not going to ever get caught for it. It's just coward. Yeah, it's just cowardly. And of course, you know, that's not going to stop people from doing it, you know. But you know, the bottom line I would say is, you know what you are. You know that you're just a fucking pussy that doesn't have the balls to say something to anybody's face. You know that you know where you are in life, and you know what you know what you know what you're doing, and you know it's wrong. And you got to live with yourself. I mean, really. And you know, some people go, well, that really hurt me. But in the end, those people have issues with themselves, I guarantee.
Oh, exactly.
You know what I mean? For whatever reason it is, and it makes them feel bigger about themselves to be able to run their mouth about other people. And they have to go back to being who they are. No matter what, when you log off your computer and you go to bed, you're still this insecure jackass that you already, you know what I mean? You're still that person. No matter how much trash you talk online, you're still that jackass. You know?
That's right.
So how about just bettering yourself? You know what I mean? I mean, because otherwise, you know, if you don't do that and you come up to me and say stuff, who knows what? I mean, more than likely, I'm just gonna tell you to fuck off and walk away, because I'm the bigger person when it comes to that. But you never know when people push you. Look, I've seen lots of stuff. I never comment on it because it's not worth it. Well, you know? And like I said, at the end of the day, you know what? At the end of the day, I knew who I am. I know who I am. We know who we are. And any of the other bands that are get these same things from, you know, these jackasses these trolls basically. You know, they know who they are, and you know, they're, you know, not really giving a damn. You know, sure, it bothers you. I mean, I wouldn't have spent this much time even answering this question if it didn't. But it only bothers me because there's no repercussions for these people. You know, you know. I mean, rarely is it that you hear that they get caught, and you know, and of course, if you smack them around, then they're going to sue you. You know, so
that's right.
You just don't win. It's just like the better person just says this. You know what? At the end of the day, you're probably going to school in the morning while I'm still partying, or you're going to work in the morning while I'm still partying. So fuck you. You know, I'm an asshole, but you know what? I got it like that, you know what I mean? And that doesn't mean to say that people going to school and going to work is, you know, I'm not trying to say that that's down, but I'm just saying if you want to sit here and make fun of me, you want to sit here and say bad things about me in this band or whatever, or any other bands. It bothers me when I see it about my friends' bands. You can say all you want at the end of the day. Well, guess what? While you're, and I've done it, while you're on a roof, you know what I mean? You're doing some shitty job. I'm sleeping off a hangover or still partying.
You're the one that's having fun.
Yeah, I'm the one that's having fun, and I'm not thinking about you. I'm you know, thinking about the next shot, next beer. I mean, you know, I'm not trying to put down people at work. You know what I mean? Like it's a bad thing. Of course, we all did it. You know, luckily we don't have to do it now. Technically, you know what I mean? Like getting up in the morning and shit. But yeah, those people piss me off.
But we spent enough time on those haters out there. Let's have the fans interact, because you guys have a lot of people that love you. I mean, just checking your Facebook page alone, you guys had 883,000 people on it as of today.
Yeah, it's better to talk about the positive people.
Exactly. So let's have the fans reach out and kind of do some interaction here. The fans can comment on the video here and tell us about why you love Cannibal Corpse, and I mean, what interests you in their music and stuff, and what you would say to those haters too. George said a lot right now, but let's get some of you guys and your thoughts on that. But you know, going back, you know, the new album out, Torture, I guess you got to be proud of the album. I mean, 12 studio albums is awesome in itself. Oh, sure. Off this latest one, I mean, I guess, how would you think the band has evolved from since you started with the band to now even?
Well, obviously, when we got Pat O'Brien in the band, after Rob left, after all the touring for Vile, he brought a more technical aspect. You know, I mean,
Right.
I think that it was going to go that way anyway. But he definitely fast forwarded the process, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
Of course, with having a whole year or however, I don't even remember what the time period we had off between the Vile tours and Gallery of Suicide, we had a lot more time to sit back and write songs better. Obviously, with me being able to sing them in mind, we kind of had to rush things with Vile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I came down and we had to just get it. We didn't slap it together as quickly as we could, but we just we took our time and there were multiple versions of all the songs on Vile.
Yeah.
But on Gallery, we had the time. We weren't replacing a singer and had to get the album out. We had deadline. We had time to all get together, write some stuff, lyrics, whatever. And like I said, anyone that was writing anything on their own could write in mind what I can do as opposed to what Chris was doing at the time.
Yeah.
The faster singing and whatnot, and the higher screams and mid stuff, So that really is one thing that's evolved over the years. But I mean, I wouldn't say. I mean, it has evolved. I think I've gotten better as a singer. I think if you listen to Vile, from the vocal standpoint, I sing deeper now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And there's screams are interspersed, here and there, and there's more of them probably than on Vile. But
Right.
I mean, I really don't listen to the albums all the time. Once we do a record, it's like, man, we've heard the song so many damn times. You're done hearing it, and then we got to go play it live all the time. And of course, we like the songs, but. So I don't sit and just listen to the record. It takes a while. After we do a lot of tours and whatnot, maybe I'll sit down and listen to it and then go, could have done this, could have done that. Because I'll notice that live, there's parts where I'll do high stuff that's not on the album. Or I'll sing a part that's high on the album, it's low, and I do it low live. Just because after doing the songs live, you know what I mean, it's a different feel. And it's a lot it's a lot easier to get a feel like with the adrenaline rush that you have when you're on stage that, man, this part should have had a higher. It just, what I mean. When I'm singing it, it makes me feel like, instead of just instead of just a low, So and I've noticed that doing the new songs that we're doing, on this tour. So I mean, and we did, when we did Europe, we did 2 new songs. Now, like this show, we're doing 6. So and so it's evolved in that way as far as me singing, as far as singing low, higher. From when I first got in the band, playing wise, everyone I think has gotten better. If you listen to Eating Back to Life to now, it's night and day. I mean, everyone's just stepped the game up. Every record. So I mean, we don't want to change the style of the band, the music. I mean, we're going to play death metal. We like to have some songs that are just fast songs. We like to have some slower songs with mixed parts. I mean, we like to have parts that are just a mix of all 3 of those things: slow, fast. Medium tempo. It's really weird to say groove because people always groove death metal, but we have it in there. Right. There's a lot of bands that have that kind of more when I say groove, I mean like more like riffs that you're going to slam to. To me, when I was growing up, there were bands that played certain style music that you would slam to more than you'd be like the Cro-Mags. You don't really headbang to the Cro-Mags. It didn't make sense to me. It's a hardcore band,
Right.
But Slayer, you're headbanging, So. I think we have a mix of a lot of that stuff, you know what I mean, where there's parts where you would probably be more inclined to start, getting into pit than headbanging, and then parts where obviously, that you'll see tonight, there'll be, songs where I'm like, listen, I want everybody headbanging.
That's right. Get the crowd into it.
So there's been an evolution in a lot of different areas, and
right.
I think at the same time we kept the core of the band, like what the band is about, just gotten better as musicians. And that's really, I think, what's helped us maintain success, I mean, we don't want to fuck with it because I don't think it's broke. Yeah. And we like, playing what we're playing.
Yep. An interesting question that probably even a lot of fans probably want to know too is, with your guys' success and 12 studio albums like we've talked about, if we were to name just any song off of any of those albums, would you remember lyrics?
Well, some no, because some especially the older albums, there's some songs that we never played live, and there's actually even on all the albums I've done, I mean, there's songs we haven't played live. It just depends on what it was, and then I would have to think, depending.
Probably have to go back and listen.
If it was, if it was some songs that we had been doing for the past few years, sure. But there are songs we haven't done in a long time, like Dead Human Collection. I mean, I could probably remember some lyrics from that, like out of the blue, you know,
Right.
because we had played it. But yeah, like I said, songs that we never played live, man, you know. Well, yeah, some of them, yes, some of them, no. It just depends on the song.
Depends,
It would depend on the song. But there are songs that I've never sang live that are older songs, and songs like, you know, that we've never played live.
Yeah.
That are, you know, from the era that I've been in the band.
Yeah, I've kind of always wondered that if you could just pick out a song and if you remember lyrics like
I
that.
would say no. Like, to be honest, I mean, but then again, depending on the song, you know.
I wonder if it's harder though for you as a vocalist, or even guitar players, or a drum, you know, somebody playing the drums, I guess, to, depending on how the song starts, if like we were to say a song, who would remember it best, I guess.
You know, it's really weird because there have been a few times, like, you know, when you're on stage and, you know, headbanging and the part's coming up, I know I gotta sing it, I'm like, fuck, what's the first line? You know what I mean? And then I don't think about it, and then it just comes naturally.
Okay.
You know, Alex will always tell you, you know what I mean? If you're thinking, you're stinking.
Yeah.
Because if you think too much about what you're doing, you know, you kind of, you know, when you practice, you know, the songs a lot, when you the repetition of practice, it's instinct after a while, you know. But yeah, there's been some times where I'm just like, fuck. Oh, okay, got it, you know, and then I'm singing it, and if I don't, then I just kind of growl something that sounds similar to it.
Or try to put the mic out to the fans and be like, "Hey, you're."
Yeah, I don't really want to. I don't want to do that because then
it's harder with your type of music.
In my mind, I think that they know that he fucked up. You know, because I never. Well, if we do Skull Full of Maggots, when we used to do that, I would give the maggots part to the kids.
Okay. Yep.
But most other songs, I never really have, because I just always thought that people want to see those parts. You know what I mean? Like, I see make them suffer and make them suffer. You know, I could maybe give it, or the make them suffer. I could give it to the kids, and they would love that. I mean, anyone get the mic, you know. But I know a couple of times, Skull Full of Maggots, I want to give the mic to some kid. He was like he didn't know it, like, you know, because you just assume that everyone's in the front row that knows your band, and some people don't, you know. And so the kid was like, "Whoa, no,
what is this?"
and so I was like, "Fuck," but it's cool to do that because it's crowd interaction. But, you know, I remember times where I was, you know, younger, and then you give the mic to the crowd, and you're like, you wanted to hear that, you wanted to hear the singer do that part. So it's hit or miss. It's just on stage, it's all on the fly, man. It's just, you know, you're thinking, trying to think as quickly as you can in between songs, what to say, what do I say, you know. Some things you come up with a line, and everyone after the show goes, man, that was a good line, and then you use it again, and you use it for the whole damn tour. And then sometimes you just go, man, that was the dumbest thing I ever fucking said. Don't ever say that again.
Yep.
So a lot of things are on the fly.
Right.
And so it all depends. If you give the mic to a kid, it's just, you know, because a couple times actually I've seen kids videotape on a cell phone, or tape it with like a little recorder. Yep. And I remember one time, I'm pretty sure it was in Brazil, I was like, give me that. And he was like, no, I will turn it off. And I was like, no, give it to me. And we did Devoured by Vermin, and I put the thing by me, and I did the scream, like, right in it, you know. So all his thing was just had was, rah, you know. Right. And he was like, yeah. You know, so.
Yeah, so crowd interaction, that's always a plus.
It's good, man. You know, yesterday we had it was pretty good, man.
Yeah. Well, talking about interaction again, I mean, we like to do stuff with, even on our Facebook page. If you guys find Backstage Entertainment, you can like us. We actually had a fan have a question that's directed for you too, and you had mentioned this earlier in the interview just briefly, is talking about Warcraft. So Justin Ferg, actually from Facebook, our Backstage Entertainment page, says ask George about WoW, or World of Warcraft. So that's all he said. So I'm guessing
that's all I said. Ask about it.
Ask about it.
I'm still playing it, you know. I mean, there's the horde tattoo, you know. I haven't really played as much on this tour because, you know, just, you know, interviews or really more just internet. We have internet on the bus, but everybody's on their computers, you know what I mean? And so usually I don't even bother to set my computer up to try to play, you know. And then you know, we get into town early, and if I'm not sleeping all day, then I get up and try to walk around, you know, and just see some shit, you know, maybe find a mall if there's one. Yep. So time just gets, you know, really, it goes by, you know, your time, you know, goes by. Time, man, you get up at 12 o'clock, and you're like, okay, 12 o'clock, man, we're not playing till 9. It's 9 hours, but before you know it, it's 6:30. You know what I mean? And you're like,
doing
man, we got 3
sound checking
hours,
and all
you
that
know?
kind of stuff, and
you know. So, well, I don't ever do sound check. I try to just preserve the voice just for the shows. But yeah, but I mean, you know, that even then, that's only like, you know, 10, 15 minutes. You know, you play the songs, you play a couple songs, and then, you know, okay, fix this on the monitor, fix that on the monitor. But you know, like I said, you know, even if I did do that or whatnot, time flies, and so I just haven't really been on. And actually, there's a new expansion coming out, and I have the beta for it, but I haven't been able to play it.
Right.
Just because I got it, and then I was home, but I had all this other shit I had to do. Was packing my stuff and get everything, going for that. And I got 2 daughters, you know what I mean. So I'm watching them during the day, and I'm just and whatnot. And so out here, there's no way I'm going to be able to download all the fucking content.
Right.
And, it'll take for fucking ever. Everybody on their goddamn computers playing, maybe even playing Warcraft themselves. So.
Yep.
But yes, I still play it.
Okay.
Everyone asks if I play it, just more when I'm home.
Right.
And I really haven't played it as crazy as I used to. You know what I mean? I haven't really done as much raiding, as I used to do. But hopefully, when I get home, I'll get back into some of that, or at the very least, to start getting ready for this, next expansion to come out.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I still love it. I mean,
So
I didn't get a tattoo on my arm for life. I mean,
That's
I'm
right.
not, I'm not going to stop.
Okay. Well, once again, talking about that crowd interaction, we have what I kind of talked to you about before the interview. We have what's called a BSc Box, where fans have found us on Facebook once again, and you guys can actually put questions on our wall and put them in this box here. So what you're going to do, George, is reach in here, and we have questions.
Another Warcraft question.
Probably. We'll see.
So any old question.
Any question. So you can draw one, and they do range from serious to crazy. So let's see what we get.
Am I reading it?
I can get it for you here. All right. What was your favorite music to listen to growing up?
Oh, metal. Come on.
Yep. That's easy. Huh?
I mean, well, yeah, that was very easy. Obviously, growing up, when I was younger, it was Black Sabbath and Accept and Saxon and Judas Priest, Iron Maiden. And then, then you're going into Celtic Frost and Slayer, Creator, to Morbid Angel, Death, I mean, it went from just heavy metal to thrash metal, death metal, black metal, and I've just been listening to that forever. I mean, all of us listen to a lot of different stuff as well. I mean, I listen to a lot of country music, real country music, not the shit that's on now.
Yeah,
it's pop country bullshit. No, I definitely. I mean, yes, these guys. I depending on the night, man, I get a bottle of whiskey and listen to some David Allan Coe and Hank 3.
All right.
And that's Waylon Jennings, all that stuff. But I also listen to the punk rock stuff. You know what I mean? Exploited, GBH, all that old stuff. Hardcore. I love all the old straight edge hardcore. And, which is ironic because I'm drinking beer, listening to it. Doing shots. But so like we listen, all of us, and including me, listen to like a lot of stuff. But growing up, yeah, man, I was just listening to metal, and punk and hardcore stuff. Like big time, and country in there here and there. Because my mother, when I was growing up, she was listening to 50s and country. That's a big thing. So. And so that was always on in the house, and then when I really started getting into music, of course, Black Sabbath started off for me. So definitely. Metal was what I always wanted. I'm here now, and that was very
doing
easy
what
question.
You love. Like
man. Hell yeah, you can't beat it.
All right, let's try one more because I don't want to keep you from your nap too much.
It's no big deal. I mean, I don't have to do it. I just thought I would.
Yeah, well,
let's see one
more here.
What's your favorite memory from a concert?
This would be a good one.
Well, I got a bad memory from some concerts, but
I hear a good story.
This one's not.
Come on.
No. There's one that's really bad from Anthrax. I saw Anthrax in Metal Church.
I'm from I'm
from Baltimore. And I went to this club, Hammerjacks, and Anthrax and Misfits. We toured. We actually played with Anthrax and Misfits when I was in Cannibal, but I saw Anthrax with Metal Church on the Among the Living tour, and just it was nothing terrible. But I'm not gonna. I'll tell you after this, man. It's bad. It's bad, man. It's just
nothing we can share.
It's fucking embarrassing as fuck, man. My favorite moment? Oh, jeez, I don't know, man. Yeah. I mean, I know. Like, actually, at that Hammerjacks, I went and saw Solitude Eternus play there. And somebody was yelling at them, like heckling them. And I happened to be like outside where the pit was. And I love them. And I was like fucking dying to be there.
Yep.
And Robert Lowe, the singer, looked at me and said, someone said they suck. And he just happened to look my way. And no lie, he just goes, well, I think we only have like 2 more songs or something, he said, or 1 more song.
Yeah.
And, luckily for this guy who hates us. And he points to me and I'm like going, whoever said that, I want to fucking strangle you, because I'm the one that gets pointed out like I don't like them, and I know every fucking line. I'm sitting there singing along with them, you know, you don't see that when you're playing live.
Right.
You're not really paying attention to every single person that's there. So
Pick you out.
that wasn't a favorite memory, but you know, it was a pretty bad one. You know, dude, I've seen so many damn shows. It's like, you know, I don't know any particular, you know, moment. I mean, I could tell you, like, every night on the Mayhem Fest we did was awesome. Just hanging out with all the bands. Killswitch Engage guys were awesome. You know, Black Dahlia Murder guys we knew, Behemoth guys we know, Trivium guys were awesome. Everybody on that tour was great. Slayer guys were really cool. You know, we had a great time. I mean, and there's so many memories from that tour. There's too many even, you know, and that's not even going to a concert. You know what I mean? If they mean like just a concert that I went to. I mean, I remember going to concerts where we didn't have any money and we had to bum money to get in, and we had to bum money to get home, and we lied to our parents and said we had rides home, and we didn't. We would go from Baltimore to D.C., not knowing how the fuck we were going to get home.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we did that a lot, man. Went to Agnostic Front in particular one time, and I didn't have enough money to get in. I had like $4. It was like $8. So we bummed $4 from all these people, got in. Then we had to bum more money for this friend of ours that was with us to get him home because he lived a little bit further out than us. So the people that were going to drive us home that we, you know, bummed and, you know, giving us a ride, we're like, we can't take him there because it's too, you know. So we did that a lot, you know.
That's true fans, though.
Yeah, I mean, hey, man, we you know, we lied to parents, just it was for a good cause. It was good, you know what I mean?
Right.
I remember we saw, you know, so many bands, you know, down in D.C. area, you know, and in the Baltimore area it wasn't as bad because you're not that far from home. D.C.'s not real far, you know, it's 40 minutes or so, but still 40 minutes away.
Right.
And you don't know how the hell you're getting home, but hey, man, that was dedication. That's what you had to do to go see shows, man.
Yep.
You know, and we did it. We do whatever we had to do, man. You know, we would do whatever we had to do outside of anything illegal to get to see a show.
Yep. Well, I bet the fans too, even your guys' fans, have some pretty awesome concert stories and maybe some hard times like that too.
You know, well,
so
I can tell you one really good story.
Okay.
Actually, because it kind of relates to like what I'm doing now. I went and saw, there was this club, The Network. I'm not totally sure if this was the first show that they ever had, but it was the first show I ever went there. Me and my friends went. MOD played with Exodus, Pleasures of the Flesh tour. And this club never had I'm pretty sure this was the first show because they had this strict no slamming policy. And it's like, listen, I can see, you know, you always hear the no stage diving. That still happens to this day.
Yeah.
But no slamming, really. So, I mean, I'm on the, you know, when you're on the outside of the pit and you're just standing around, just every once in a while, you get pushed.
Yeah.
People are pushing you. They're, you know, you're getting knocked back by accident. Somebody's knocking into you. But I was on the outside of the pit, not trying to be a part of the slamming. I was just trying to watch MOD. MOD was playing. And someone pushed me real hard into the middle of the pit, and they were kicking people out, man. And
really?
Just, the next thing I know, I'm trying to, like not make sure that the people, because you could see all the security guards around there, and they were just randomly picking people. He's slamming, get them. And I was just trying to make it sure, like, no, I'm not trying to slam. Next thing you know, arm around my throat, I'm kicked out. So I get kicked out, and I'm so pissed off, and I'm like, fuck you, asshole, you know, yelling at him. And I look over, and there's Steve Souza, singer from Exodus, and he's talking to some other kids that got, you know, kicked out, you know. Yeah. And I just remember, you know, he I guess, you know, the other kids told me later, they were like, yeah, we got kicked out, and he just came out the bus, was like, hey, man, I know what's happening, sorry, we can't get you back in or whatever, but, you know, I just wanted to say, you know, just talk to you guys for a little bit, just to let you know it sucks, you know what I mean, and hopefully we come back again, you know, this won't happen, you know what I mean. Yeah. So it was just cool that he came up the bus to just let people know, hey, man, you know, sorry that sucks. And I just remember talking to him, and I've since told him this story, you know. And I just remember just when he was talking, like, and I always wanted to, you know, I wanted to be in a band. And this was, you know, I don't know, 87, 88-ish, somewhere around there, you know. And, man, I was just like, yeah, this is the way you should be to people, you know. Because you always hear stories of guys that, you know, don't give a fuck about the fans or whatever, you know. And look, I understand it's hard sometimes. You're just tired, you're sick, whatever, you know what I mean. You just get off the bus, you just played the show, and you just kind of like, oh, there's, you know, people come on the bus and say, hey, there's some kids out there. You're just like, it's not like you don't want to talk to people. You just want to sit and relax for a minute. Yeah. And then you just get lazier and lazier. You know what I mean? But he, you know, when I saw that, you know, like, I mean, knowing what I know now, knowing how it can be, it always comes back in my head, I mean, how cool that was that he just came out to just say, hey, man, sorry, guys, you know, that sucks, but there's nothing that can really be done about it. And he was just talking to people, and I was like, fucking, man. Cool, fucking Steve Souza from fucking Exodus. It was a big deal, you know. It still is, you know what I mean. That I even know him now, you know what I mean. It's really cool, and so that was one of the coolest things that ever happened at a show. Even though it was something great that happened from something bad. I mean,
Right.
you know, getting booted out of the show sucks, man. And I'm pretty sure that's one of the only shows I ever got booted out of, you know. And it was for something dumb. I wasn't even fucking slamming.
Right.
But, you know, he made it worth it, you know, because talking to him, I always look back on that once I got in a band and, you know, started realizing that people wanted to take pictures with you or get an autograph or just talk to you, you know. That always stuck with me, that's the way you should be to people, is to be cool with them and treat, you know, they're fans like we are, you know. I mean, all the kids are at the show tonight. I say kids because I'm a fucking old bastard now, but they're just metalheads. They're fans of music like we are. We just happen to make a band or, you know, want to be in bands, and now here we are.
Well, that is cool. You guys do. I mean, you guys sign autographs too, and you guys are generous enough to sign an autograph for us because we do contests on our page. Another reason to like Backstage Entertainment. You guys can get an autograph for them because we do contests on our page, so definitely go check them out. Cannibal Corpse. We're sitting here with George again. George, any last message for the fans at all?
Thanks for the support. Stay metal.
There we go.
For the Lord.
Cannibal Corpse, guys. Check them out. Hey everyone, make sure to like Backstage Entertainment on Facebook to see our photos, to enter yourself into contests for autographed prizes, and other news. Also make sure to click the subscribe button on YouTube to check out the rest of our videos. And you can find us on Twitter to get updates about what we're doing. For Backstage Entertainment, this is Jeremy Lafrentz.